The Gina and Matty podcast.
Big night of television. All the big shows are coming back. Idol on Channel 7. Survivor is on Channel 10. And it's the big one, MAFS, returning 7:30 on Channel 9.
On the very first night.
Now, the best man.
The worst best man speech of all time.
He's quite fond of experimentation.
The jaw-dropping first night.
That first night is tonight. The show is MAFS on 9 at 7:30. And joining us online this morning is one of the experts, Jon Aiken. Good morning, John.
Good morning, you two. Yes, and I can tell you that best man speech is one for the ages. The shocker.
I've seen some pretty ordinary ones, so I cannot wait to see how this goes.
Yeah, I really didn't know where his head was at, and then he kicks it off, and it starts poorly, and it just goes worse from there.
Oh, that's hilarious, John. I am so excited. I am a massive, massive fan. And I said to my husband last night, I get the TV from tonight on, because MAFS is back. And he's the kind of husband that no, I want to watch cricket and all that sort of stuff. But it doesn't take him long. He joins in, he gets hooked as well.
That's right. They say that, don't they? They want to watch the cricket and the tennis, but really, they're all about love.
They really are. And I'm super excited, John. I've heard that there's a couple of, slightly older couples this year.
There are. We have a much more diverse cast this year. We have our oldest ever participant, Richard, who's age 62, in the mix. We've got a couple of other more mature participants as well. Now, what that does is it creates a real dynamic between the young ones and the old ones. It fires up. But also for me, usually I'm talking to participants that are half my age.
Yeah.
This time around, I'm having a go at some of the older couples who, are older than me.
You're not going to match Richard up with some 19-year-old who wants a blue tick and a skinny tea endorsement, are you?
No, I think generally we all agree that would be a very bad look.
John, this year, because we know MAFS has been rolling around the success that it is it getting harder and harder to filter out people who are applying for, say, the right reasons?
Well, I think what we know now, because there's so much at stake with OnlyFans and podcast and becoming an influencer, all of them have some element of being comfortable in the spotlight and looking forward to life after marriage. But they're also after love. And so what we do is we put them together, we watch like everybody else, and we hope that some of them find that fairy tale.
Oh,
incredible.
Me too.
Now, John, just quickly, I know you're a massive cricket man. How good was the West Indies beating Australia, just quickly?
Well, I'm an Aussie through and through, so not ideal, but at the same time, good for the West Indies.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
They need a win, and they got it, against Australia in Australia. So that's a big victory for them.
Absolutely. No love between those two teams, that's for sure. MAFS is back on the telly tonight, 7:30 on Channel 9 and 9 now. John, we'll check in with you throughout the series, keep us updated and give us some of the behind-the-scenes goss, if that's cool.
Oh, I love it, guys.
Gina and Matty.
We're talking about chucking sickies. Long weekend. There's going to be a few rolling around. There was a lady who was caught by her boss getting on a plane, chucking a sickie, which was amazing. I got busted once, and that's why I was like, you know what, one and done.
Yeah.
That was kind of it for me. Like, if you're gonna, anyway, I'll hold that thought. But I was an apprentice pastry chef baker, and I think I might have been in my first year. And I'm a cricket tragic, and there was a game of cricket on at the SCG, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get on the bus and get all the way into the city and watch the cricket, but I don't really want to go to start work at midnight beforehand, so I was like, I'm a bit sick, and then I was like, and then totally forgot that I was meant to be sick and at the cricket. And I think it was even Mark Wall was batting, and he hit this beautiful shot for 4. And I ended up standing up on the chair that I was in, doing like the go Ricky, go Jerry dance, where I'm like putting my arms out in front of me, like waving, and then doing the 4 signals. Anyway, having the best time. And it wasn't until I went to work the next day feeling so much better, miraculous recovery.
Oh yeah.
That my boss said to me, he's like, "Oh, you feeling a little bit better?" And I was like, "Yeah, feeling a bit better, mate. Yeah." And it's like, "Oh, good, because that shot from Mark Wall that he hit must have made you feel a bit better." And then I'm like, turns out I was broadcast on Channel 9. They cut to the crowd after the shot, and there's me, like real close up, zoomed in of me dancing
in
away
the moment.
in the moment. There's a couple of other great examples rolling around of of people being caught chucking sickies.
Absolutely. One of my absolute favourites is using the company credit card when you're meant to be sick and being out and about. That is my favourite ever. Like, I just love it. And then we have others where they said that big one was getting caught on social media. Like, come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Rookies.
Come
Absolute
on,
rookies.
guys.
Don't take a photo of yourself.
Don't take
and
a
put
photo.
it up.
That's the rule. Go to ground. Literally, don't get on a flight.
Gina and Matty.
I've seen this report that came out over the weekend that after questioning more than 1,000 dog owners about their pets' TV habits, turns out dogs love watching the TV just as much as we do.
Really?
Which doesn't really surprise me. Like, I've got friends who've got dogs and they leave the telly on during the day for
Because
the dog.
they can hear a voice.
Keeps them
and-
company.
Yeah.
Oh, and they love Judge Judy. Like, seriously. but apparently 8 out of 10 dogs love watching TV and some are quite happy just to sit there and watch a full-length movie as well. And apparently pedigree dogs and Labradors were the most avid viewers, choosing to maybe watch shows about other dogs.
That's what we have. We have Labradors.
Yeah.
And
Like
they-
watch on telly?
Yeah, they'll mind it. They'll sit in there and watch. Don't like it when there's yelling or angry. They leave the room.
Good choice.
Well, I think Netflix or Binge or,
Yeah.
Stan could be missing a real market here.
Yes.
Just targeted content
Yes.
just for dogs, especially if they like watching movies and TV shows. So
Yeah.
I'm just when we finish talking about this, can you send this off to like some streaming services
Absolutely,
Loz,
yep.
and see if we can pitch some ideas?
I think it's a great idea.
100%.
What about like a remake and do it the Fast and the Furious? Oh yeah, strap yourselves in. There's a few. What about a musical, The Hound of Music? I don't know. Maybe an action, Indiana Bones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I was laughing too hard. I couldn't hear that.
Creeper. Maybe they like old school retro shows from the 80s. Maybe Beverly Hills K90210. Oh, we're clutching at straws.
Okay,
I'm
Dad, we're
liking
getting
it.
there.
Okay.
No, I like it.
Maybe you've got a kinky dog that might be into 50 Shades of Greyhound. I think that'll do.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.